And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that brutal OST because we have returned with the semi-finals of the Korean StarCraft League, week number 42. Oh boy, working our way here through the start of January, leading into IEM Katowice. Honestly, I think this is a really good event to get a read on the state of play of a lot of these players and what they are looking like leading into our next big premier event. And here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkyone, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg, representing himself, currently teamless. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. Here we go, our TvZ is upon us. Our semifinals has begun. When it comes to the upper semis, I believe that is also underway. I believe it is going to be Nightmare versus Classic. Classic did take down Parting, and Classic goes up against Nightmare to determine which Protoss player makes it to the grand finals. At least we have one of each race. We have one of each race currently in the semis. We got plenty of Protoss, we got our Terran, we have our Zerg as well. Is it going to be a PvT or a PvZ finals though? That is the question. As we do have our 2x Reaper opener here out of Byun. Meanwhile, I'm quickly setting this up, but if you're in the chat, predictions are soon to be open. Get your gamba going, Pat. Get your gamba going. Semi-finals, Dark versus Byun. Predictions will be open for a couple of minutes so you can place your bets on who you believe will make it through into those finals. Again, we just see Dark going for a hatch. Ooh, going gasless. Okay, this is what we spoke about. If you were here earlier during the Estrella series, I was talking about how very often players cut corners specifically on Alkyone. So again, the Nexus first did make sense in my mind from Estrella. Here we can see Dark doing something similar. Going for a hatch, pool, hatch opener. Gasless here from Dark. Very greedy, quite greedy here from our Zerg player. We'll see if we can get away with it as Byun is soon to be aggressive with his Reapers. So 2x Reaper here moving out across the map. Dark back at home will have Queens and slow links to defend. The downside here for Dark, as I'm sure he's talking about the build. I'm sure he's bringing it up. But the downside here is that Dark won't have link speed anytime soon, which means he won't have map control anytime soon. These Reapers will be able to wreak havoc here between the bases. They go straight for the drone. Oh! Ooh, quick spore there. We trapped the Reaper! No shot! Oh my god! Dark laughing in Byun's face. Question marks all around as we trap the first Reaper. Ay, ay, ay. Dark, you don't have to laugh at him so much. It's oh my god, but Byun, he has map control. It's gasless. Like, there's no link speed. There's nothing for Byun to worry about. He should have had control with his Reapers. And the first Reaper did go down. A big blunder for Byun. Ay, ay, ay. Just like that, Dark, he is looking quite comfortable. He's joining up happily. He's making queens. He's chilling. He's looking good right now. And Byun behind this, transitioning into a third CC. It's going to be a factory into a third CC before Starport. So a very economic follow-up here out of Byun. Looking at his units, he cut Reapers at 2. He wants a tumor. Oh, he wants a tumor. He will not get it, as Byun is being forced back, and Dark is stabilizing here on 3 bases. Again, Byun's follow-up is going to be quite a powerful one. It's going to be a 3cc 2-1-1. It is economic, that is true, but we're building up towards a drop play. We're building up towards a stim timing here with these Marines. As we'll be shutting down this Overlord, we'll be bringing it down eventually as we work towards stim. Meanwhile, behind this makes a lot of sense. Oh, no shot! The second Reaper goes down to slow lings? Papi. Byun, a little bit distracted across the map, dealing with the Overlord. Second Reaper also falls. At least Dark didn't laugh this time. We're past the early game, we're getting into this. But what I was going to say is that because Dark went gasless, this is a very common follow-up to skip link speed. You skip link speed and you go straight into roaches instead. Your gases are late anyway, so may as well make use of your gas as efficiently as possible, going straight into roaches. So it's going to be roach play here out of Dark to begin with. This doesn't have to be like a roach all-in, doesn't have to be pure roach ravager into Hydra. This could just be roaches ravagers into Ling Bane in the mid-game. So this can kind of lead into a more standard direction, but for now, Dark making a way for 4, 9 roaches. 9 roaches are coming out just to defend. We can apply a bit of pressure here, but it is going to be a Banshee follow-up. Very interesting. This is something that Maru does. This is something that Byun mixes in as well. This is a 3cc 2-on-1. This should have been a reactor on that factory and an add-on swap into Medivacs. Medivacs is going to be delayed. Medivacs will be delayed. Hellion production is delayed, all in favor of Banshee play. This is a really risky maneuver, but this is designed to catch the Zerg player off guard. Like Dark, he knows about the 2-Rax opener. The last thing he's thinking is Banshees. That is why 0 spores. 0 spores already, because based on the build that he's seen, it makes sense to make Medivacs, not Cloak Banshees. So this is designed to catch his opponent completely off guard, and he will. Spores just now start, Cloak is activated, and Byun goes to town here in the mineral line. Drones are going to be falling at the same time. Oh, the Marines get caught out. Stim is not done. Stim is still not done. A lot of Marines do go down here to the Roach Ravager. The Biles do miss, and overall, Byun, his Marine army, takes quite a bit of damage. He gets 4 drones across the map, and will be forced back. I was expecting a little bit more damage, but 4 workers is still pretty good. We get a 5th, and we can maybe get a 6th. There it is. 6 drones go down. We get a 7th. Oh my god. 8 workers. We went from 4 to 8 very quickly there, as this Banshee has paid for itself. Now, even though Byun has had a hard time, even though he's had a pretty rough time with his Reapers in the beginning, or in the early game, pretty hard time with his Marine push, these Banshees, they're making up for it. We pick off a Ravager. We can pick off a 2nd Ravager or some Roaches as well. Get really good movement here by Byun. Really good pickoffs overall. And the game is going to be settling down. Byun getting into his 3-base economy, working towards combat shields 1-1, and now getting into his Medivacs. Again, his Medivacs have been delayed, which is why these Marines haven't really posed too much of a threat until now. It's very Byun. Byun, very often he moves out as the Medivacs are being pushed across the map. We should be boosting out to meet up with the Marines. So again, Stim is completed. Byun going to be fighting for map control, for control of the creep. Meanwhile, Dark, he's racing to a very fast infestation, but I'm curious. We have +1 range on the way. We're rushing into the Hive. Are we going Roach Ravager into Hydra Lurker? Is that the plan here? Are we going to be getting into Lunker play? We have some safety infestors on the way. There's the Bane Nest. It is not going to be Hydras. There's not going to be Lurkers. We're going into Ling Bane. And with this fast Hive, we can get into fast Vipers. Vipers will be on the horizon. Here we go. Double jump coming from the right-hand side. We do get on top of the hatchery. Up. The base taking a lot of damage, but we'll be forced to pick up. Byun picking up, heading towards the main base, keeping Dark busy, keeping him distracted. The Roach is lying in wait in the main base. So far, Dark is able to keep up. Behind this, 3C. We have 3 CCs in front. 4 CCs? Papi, calm down. 3 CCs on the way here for Byun. Throwing down a massive amount of expansions here back at home. Trying to work through his bank. Byun building up here on 3 bases. Still being active with his drop play, but hasn't really achieved too much. And this is what we were waiting for. Vipers. Vipers are in production. Now, Vipers are really the only anti-air that Dark has. That's why these Medivacs have been left alone. There's no Hydras, there's no Spire, there's no Mutas, there's no Corruptors. Parasitic Bombs are really what we have to deal with these Medivacs. And Abductions as well. As we get into +1 melee, Ultra Cavern is thrown down, so it's going to be Roach Ravager into Ling Bane into Ultras here for Dark. Vipers have arrived. They're going to be gathering up NG in the main base before dealing with this drop. And Dark, he's comfortably droning up here, droning up to 73, soon to be 80 workers. Gold base is up and running as well for Dark. The creep is looking strong. Even though Byun was meant to be active with drop play, he's building up back at home here. He's walling up. He is turtling. That is the reason why he threw down so many CCs, so many orbitals. He's going to have a massive amount of mules available. There are the power bombs here on the Medivacs, forcing the drop play. Up. Oh my god. Medivacs are so low. One full Medivac goes down, and the other will barely escape. But again, a good cleanup here by Dark. He shuts down these rocks. Byun going to be committing here with the drop, trying to get as much value as he can here out of these Marines. Oh, good target firing. Very nice trade here by Byun. Behind this, 3 more CC. We just keep throwing down bases. All the orbitals just keep throwing down orbital after orbital. But here comes the Mass League made of Dark. How many tanks do we have? We're out of position. The tanks are just now sieged. The tanks, they were not quite ready for this. And the Lings, they get on top of the tanks. They get on top of the army. And this is going to be a beautiful trade here for Dark. Takes down 21 SCVs in the mineral line, 3 tanks. And Dark, he's snowballing out of control at this point. That's a kill, not a cancel on the CC. Dark will be pulling back. But Byun did take a massive blow. Now, what I will say is that, yes, Byun, he lost 25 workers. He's still on 73. And look at all those mules. Again, because of all these orbitals that are on the way, Byun, he can afford to lose some workers. It's okay. He can sustain some of these losses. But the downside, because his tank count was reset, he lost 3 tanks in that fight. He lost a lot of Marines. That means that he's stuck at home. Byun, he's stuck here at home. He's stuck defending, turtling, and this means that Dark can do whatever he wants. He's taking up so hard into kindness plating, into ultra speed. Greater Spire is on the... We don't even need the Greater Spire, but it is on the way. Dark just really establishing himself here, taking control of the entire map, expanding here towards the left, towards the right, spreading creep wherever he can. And he's remaxed. He's remaxed once again. A big blinding clouds here on top of the tanks. And the Ultras, they close the distance. Liberators putting in a lot of damage. The Ultras are being dealt with. But a couple of lips go down. We get into the middle line. Big fungal. Oh my god. Massive fungal on the army. We crash on in. We clean up the Marines. And so many of those ghosts. Oh my god. That was 2 ghosts going down. 14 Marines, 3 tanks. We did lose some Ultras, but Dark, he can afford these trades. Remember, Dark, he's happily mining on 88 drones. He can remax, rebuild once again. Byun is still on the back foot. Because of all these trades, he's still stuck at home. Now, he is soon to establish this goal base. If Byun can stabilize, if he's given a little bit of time here to remax, then Byun can start being active. But until then, he's kind of stuck at home. Lings, they come in once again. They get a tank. Get 1 tank, just barely. A 2nd tank goes down. Good snipes. Overall, this was a better trade for Byun. He did lose 2 tanks, but he traded very nicely against all those Lings. That was 7. Look at the trades here. 72 Lings for 1 tank. for 2 tanks. 2 tanks, a ghost, a handful of Marines. This is a brutal trade here for Dark. And this is what Byun is hoping for. He's hoping that Dark overextends. That he just like trades too inefficiently into the wall of tanks, into this defensive line. That's what Byun is hoping for. He's going to be absorbing these attacks. Meanwhile, Dark, he comes in from the left-hand side, coming in from a different angle. Tanks are in position. Good blinding clouds. Good blinding clouds. The Ultras are getting on top of the ghosts. The Ultras, they close the distance. They collapse on the army. Tanks are going down. Lings, they're flooding into mineral lines. It looks like Dark's main army is going to be forced back, but he gets on top of those ghosts, and he is wreaking havoc here in the natural. SCVs are going down. And once again, Byun will hold, but he loses 16 and 17 SCVs. And he wants the final tank. He gets it. The tank goes down. Lings will be cleaned up. We do scan. But Byun, he's still trying to stand up. He's still trying to lift himself up here. And every time he does, every time he looks to get up, we do see Dark rocking up just like this. Another big Ling counterattack. 27 SCVs went down and a tank as well. Just a constant harass. The constant... The main Lings! No! We get in! Get out of here! 30 SCVs. Lings from the left-hand side as well. Will be cleaned up, but GG gets called. It's too much damage, and Dark will take game number 1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Dark, from the beginning, honestly, from the openers, he was in control of that game. He was in the driver's seat. It was so unfortunate that the opener of Byun did kind of fall in its face. Remember, it was a Churax Reaper opener. And Byun, he lost his first 2 Reapers without really getting much of anything done. It was so unfortunate, so unlucky. That's why there was a little bit of banter happening in the chat between Dark and Byun, where they were messaging each other, because it was a a bit of a blunder there that that Dark took advantage of. From that point, Byun was trying to recover, was trying to get into his kind of 4-base setup. He was able to achieve a lot with the Banshees. Like, the Banshees were great. Remember, the Banshees did a lot of damage. They shut down the Roach Ravager, they crippled the economy. It was very well done there by Byun, but the follow-up, that's what was lacking. The problem is that because he went for Banshees, that delays drop play. And Byun was never able to really be active, and that's what he's known for, right? Like, Byun, he's known for his multitasking, his marine control, his drop play, his ability to pull apart his opponent, but he just wasn't able to really bring that out against Dark. Wasn't able to in the end, and Dark was in control. And now we're getting into game number 2. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping that Byun can bring it back here to the ace match. We go, and spawning in the top left hand corner of side Delta, we have our South Korean Zerg player, our red Zerg, representing himself, currently teamless. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Byun. And Byun, he's down in this series. He's looking to fight back, looking to bounce back in game number 2. He's doing so with, once again, Raxes on the low ground. Now, this isn't a bad map to go Rax into factory, or Rax expand into a factory here on top of the ramp, just because of the defender's advantage. I'm curious how Byun pieces this all together, and what build he goes for. Ooh, there it is. SCV towards the low ground, and we are going for the 2 Rax opening. So 2 Rax Reaper here out of Byun. And this time, he will not lose his first Reaper. I guarantee it. I hope so, at least. I hope so. Behind this, Dark going for a hatch gas pull. Remember, game 1, Dark opened up gasless specifically because of the map. Because of Alkione. That's something that you can do. You can cut corners. You can be greedy on a larger map like that. Here on side Delta, a much more standard opening is going to be a hatch gas pull. With this, Link speed should be on time, and we should be able to get into our Queens and Link production. Now it's going to be on Byun here to assert himself, to out-trade his opponent, to be able to flex his control with these Reapers. Here we go, Reapers are on the way. They are in production. Likewise, Byun soon to be looking to expand as well. There are 3 Rax variations of this, but it's going to just be 2 Rax Reaper into an expand, into a longer game. Byun is going to be pushing, is going to be moving out. He's got 2 more Reapers behind this. And there is that CC on location. Dark being a little bit greedy, going for that 3rd. And we'll see if he will be punished for it. Reaper does arrive. Going to be dancing with those Lings. So far, good control out of Dark. He doesn't lose anything yet. The drones are under fire, and he wants it! And he does get 1 worker. Big pickup. 1 drone goes out, hitting another. Oh, barely will not. Second Reaper does arrive. So far, good trades here by Byun. Overlord gets into the main, confirms a factory in production, confirms that it is not 3 Rax Reaper. And now the goal for Byun is going to be to cancel this 3rd base. I mentioned before that it was a little bit greedy for Dark to take this 3rd. We'll see if he can hold on to it. As Byun does dive into the main base. Oh, the Queen's out of position. Another drone goes down. 2 more workers full. 3 in total. Good trades here by Byun. Much better compared to game 1. As he picks up another couple of Lings. Does manage to escape. This 3rd base is going to get up and running. It is not going to be cancelled. The 3rd base will get up, but we did lose 3 drones in the process. As Byun is going to get the hell out of there. Behind this, Stim is on the way. 3rd CC before Starport. This time, ooh, another Tech Lab. Okay, it looks like Byun is going to be going for Banshees again. At least that's what it looks like here with the add-on swap. Now the Lings move out. We catch the Reapers. Reapers will be shut down. A good movement there out of Dark. He does gain map control behind this Dark. He's droning as hard as he can, saturating his bases. And he will confirm Stim on the way. There's only one Marine, so these Lings will be threatening this wall. They will threaten the wall, but we now have a second Marine up and running. And a third and a fourth. Behind this, there's the add-on swap going for Banshee play. Overlord is denied. We did get eyes on the third CC, but we did not get eyes on the Banshees. So, I'm not too fond of this choice. It is true that Banshees did do a lot of damage last game. That is true. But we already did this once in this series, which means that Dark is going to be thinking about this. This will be in the back of his mind. Will Dark throw down safety spores? Looking at his vision, again, he didn't see the add-ons, didn't see the production. He knows that there has to be a factory and a starport, but doesn't know if there's a reactor or a tech lab. So we'll see if Dark does throw down those safety spores. Remember, last game, the first Banshee killed 8 drones. 8 drones went down to the first Banshee. We'll see if Byun can live up to that. Meanwhile, Lings are moving out, threatening a counterattack. Byun, though, is in position. 2 more E-bays are on the way for 1-1. Getting into our 2-1-1 setup. Medevacs now in production. Banshee is moving out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, okay, there is a big difference here. I do like this. This time, the Banshee is spotted. No cloak. Cloak is not researched, and we only make 1 Banshee, so very light commitment to Banshee play here by Byun. I'm sure he's hoping to force an overreaction. There we go, spores are on the way. And this is a bit of an overreaction because spores aren't necessary against 1 cloakless Banshee. So, really good mind games here out of Byun. Really good mind games. Again, queens are in position. This is why spores aren't necessary, because we have plenty of queens and we have map control. Double drop is moving out. Banshee is going to be forced back. And Byun this time is much faster, or much more quickly getting into this drop play. Getting into these medevacs. 3 more racks is behind this, getting to a 5-rack setup. Lings do go for a counterattack and they do bust in. Looks like 1 SCV goes down. A handful of Marines. We force back the drop as well. And that itself is worth it here for Dark. Forcing back the medevacs. Meanwhile, Dark building himself up here, getting a 4th base, joining up to 65. That is 3 base saturation, and we are working towards 1-1. It's going to be Ling Bane out of Dark, this time not Roach Ravager. Again, he didn't open up castles. Going to be straight up Ling Bane play. Byun is now moving out. Remember, he does have Stim. He's going to be having combat shields as well. He has 1 tank with this army. Ooh, only a single tank. Risky move out here by Byun. Good tank positioning, but again, there is only 1. He's going to be buying some time. Lings are amassing. Clutch transfuse as we do force out another Stim. 2 queens go down. We go for a surround. Ooh, and it looks like can we clean this up? We cannot. Up the Marines. We push in. The Marines, they barely break through, but no, they're being forced back. The tank's going to be going down as well. Barely to these reinforcements. And Dark will hold. Now, this wasn't the cleanest hold. Looking at the units lost tab here. Okay. Byun, he lost 18 Marines. He lost a tank for 59 Lings and 5 queens. That's a lot of queens. A lot of queens went down in that defense. I kind of want to say that was a good trade for Byun. That was a good trade for Byun overall. Remember, really, he only lost 1 tank. Marines, they're negligible. We can throw Marines away. Remaxing, rebuilding. And here comes the second wave. Bailing speed, still not done. And upon losing all those queens, Dark's position is that much more vulnerable here. Here we coming from behind. Tank is going to be going down. We got 1 tank, but the other does stand strong. Dark in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble right now. We have more Bailings on the way. Can we hold on? Can we survive? Up. The Bailings. Unable to keep up. Barely unable to. Lings coming from behind. They want the tank. They will not get it. Tank does survive. Another wave of reinforcements on the way. Byun keeping the pressure up, and you can see that in the supply. Dark taking a massive supply lead here. That first fight did go well for Byun. And Dark is struggling. It's far too much in the defense Took too long to bring down the tank. And Byun is looking to break Dark here and now. Looking to force that ace match. To force out game number 3. Good target firing here on the medevac. We have another surround. Tank is going to go down. The Bailey's they go straight for those Marines. So far, a good trade here from Dark. He cleans up the Marines. Not enough room. Not enough room in the medevac. And Byun does get cleaned up. Behind this, Hydras are on the way. Dark is establishing this 4th base. Dark is behind in the economy. He's down in workers, desperately trying to keep up. Dark is still not out of the woods yet. Was another queen, another 2 queens go down. We are down to 6 queens here, and here comes another army towards the south, pushing towards the 5th. Dark still trying to stabilize. We're getting there. Oh. Drop is going to be lifted. Drop the main is denied as well. Again, it's barely alive here on 6 HP. Dark is stabilizing. Hive is on the way. Those are 2-2 upgrades. Creep is being respread. Once again, that medevac threatening a drop. Queens are rotating over. Infestors on the way. Infestors are a good way to come back as well, to lock down the army, land those fungals. And the game will stabilize. Now we have Byun still with a better economy. Like, Byun, he still has a better economy, which means he's going to be the first to max out. He's working on 3-3. Ghost Academy is on the way for Ghost production for Hive Tech. 3 more orbitals as well to maintain our mules, our scans. Byun is still in the driver's seat, but Dark, he's catching up. I feel like a lot of this is going to come down to the fungals. Things will be rolling on in. Up the mines. Decent mine connections. The Lings are being cleaned up. Not the best engage there by Dark. The Bailings, they do finish up just in time. And Byun is going to back off. He sees the Bailing, sees the army, wants none of it. Going to be going for a drop here towards the south instead. Meanwhile, that medevac is still here in between the bases. Best of one. Get on. Byun pushing on through at the same time, dropping to the main base. We have a tri-pronged attack here out of Byun. The main army is going to be pushed back, but at the same time, a Dune drop here at the 5th base, and this hatchery, it's going to go down. Infestor gets caught out. Dark being pulled apart. How good are the fungals, though? Oh, decent fungals, but where is the follow-up? It's not good enough. Ooh, does get a full medevac. Dropping the main base does get cleaned up. But Dark, he lost the 5th. And that's what matters most right now. The fact that Byun still maintains his economic lead, and Dark, his economy and his production is being affected. Byun turning back around. The creep is spreading here on the right-hand side decently well towards the north. Dark does have a standing army, but he still needs to get this base back up and running. Here we go. In chat, like, can we get new emotes? I think we have like 1 emote slot, I think. Don't really have much. Don't really have much room for emotes, but we'll try it. Okay, mine shot's gonna be going up. Byun pushing through towards the north here, pushing towards the bases of Dark. We do have our spellcasters, we have infestors, we have vipers as well for power bombs. Dark getting ready for a surround. Does collapse on this army. Well, that's a lot of ghosts. Good EMP here on the infestor. Decent fumbles though. We do crash in. We shut down some of the ghosts, but there's still so much more behind this. Byun maintains his position. Dark has to back off. Remaxing here with more Lings. Byun still looking quite comfortable behind this. Then we have Lunkers on the way. It's going to be Ling Bane into Hydro Lurker Viper. We're getting there. God, that's a lot of infestors. that's a lot of fungal potential. And really, this is, again, just keeping Dark alive. Like, he has almost no creep on the map. Like, that's just how aggressive Byun has been. How much room room has been gaining here. Ground has been gaining. Darky's treading water. You can also see that Darky hasn't been able to touch the economy. Like, he hasn't been able to go for Ling run-bys or Baneling counterattacks, all because of just these rough trades. The Infestors, no! Speaking of rough trades, an Infestor goes down. 2 Infestors go down. Losses that Dark cannot afford. Speaking of another Infestor, no! We do land a Fungal, but there's no follow-up here. As Byun, he can just tank the Fungal. Might just go off another oh my god, we've lost like 4 Infestors over the past couple of seconds. Base is denied. Again, Byun just trading so well here. And Dark, his win condition or his way out of this is to get into Lurker play. The Lurkers will slow the game down and will force out Liberators. The problem is that Liberators are already in production. We already have 2 starports reactored. Liberators are on the way. Do we have a Fusion Core? We do. Fusion Core is done. Soon to be Liberator range. And Byun, he's getting into Bio-Lib, which is what he needs against those Lurkers. Ghost Lib, basically. Dark is remaxing. Dark is still looking for a big fight. I'm loving the bird infestors. Fungal does graze the army. Up! Catch the ghost! Big pickup. 3 ghosts go down. Very nicely done. See Byun pushing forward once again, clearing up a lot of creep. Dark likewise collapsing in this position. Oh, but this is a rough trade. Oh my god! A rough trade for Dark. He takes 3 Widowmines to the face. Into Liberation Zones as well. The freedom is here, and Byun is trading beautifully. Does connect with 1 Fungal, but there's not enough on the ground. There's not enough to follow up. And Dark, he's being broken. Being broken on both fronts. Snipe's going to be going up. We can kite back here to the mines. Not quite going to be going up here, but again, Byun, he's snowballing out of control. He's breaking through, getting to another base. Trading so efficiently. Snipes go off as well. We lose even more Infestors. And GG gets pulled. It's just too much. Byun gets out of control, and Byun ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Byun, he was in control of almost this entire game from the get-go. Just applying so much pressure. Basically, since the first push. The first push of Byun did so much damage. Byun, he was able to... Remember, he killed, what was it? 5 queens? It was 5 queens and 65 lings. It was an insane trade for Byun. And from that moment, Dark was on the back foot. He was behind. Dark was behind, and Dark was just struggling to, like, tread water and just keep his head above water at that point, and just was not able to. Was not able to. Got close. I do like that that Dark was working towards Infestors, prioritizing Spellcasters. That is a good way to trade efficiently, but he wasn't able to stabilize his economy, wasn't able to get into Lurker production either. Dark was just 1 step behind. And with that, we're tied up. We're going to the ace match. We're going all the way here to game number 3. Let's go. Here we go. Meanwhile, looks like we have an update from the upper semifinals. Nightmare, he didn't just 2-1 hero, Nightmare 2-0'd Classic. Mate, he is popping off tonight here in the PvPs. Again, Nightmare is a PvP specialist, and that's where he can cause upsets the most. To bring down both Classic and Hero, very impressive stuff. Nightmare is waiting for the winner of the series in the Grand Finals, but who will it be? As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, being forced into the ace match. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, tying up the series 1-1. It is Byun. Here we go. As we are just going to be settling into this, we do have Byun getting into his 2 racks. Going to be getting into 2 racks Reaper once again. And I'm curious if Dark is willing to go gasless here on Golden Aura. It's something that he has done in the past. Will he do it again? Will he do it again here? As there's that second racks here for Byun. And Dark is going hatch gas pool. Standard opener. Standard opener out of Dark. Not going to be spicing it up here. SCV Scout comes in. Oh, and we scout. Big scout here by Dark. It is going to be 3 racks Reaper here by Byun. The question mark as Byun is scouted immediately. And Dark is fully aware of what's going on. Boys are being pulled and we will shut this racks down. Again, really nice scouting here out of Dark. And Byun does do this quite often here on Golden Aura. He is known for going 3 racks Reaper. With the arrival of these drones, the SCV is going to be forced back. Reapers are on the way. And Dark is going to have to get the hell out of here. Reapers are moving out. And again, the build has been disrupted here. Yeah, we force a cancel on that racks. But we can still commit. We can still commit here to 2 racks Reaper. Reapers are moving out. Dark will have to get ready back at home. Getting straight to his 3rd CC. A 3rd hatchery even. Gas being taken up. Oh my god. Oh, the trap! The drone! The drone does go down. Big pick off there by Byun. Lings are late. Queen is being delayed. And do we get the Reaper? We do not. Reaper does escape. Reaper does barely get the hell out of there. We get eyes on the 3rd base, and Byun is expanding behind. This is a late transition, a late expansion out of Byun because of the failed racks. Bear that in mind. And Byun going for a 3rd CC before factory. Oh my god. Very greedy. Very greedy builds here, and it makes sense. Byun knows that he's behind. He knows he has to catch back up. So a 3rd CC is a good way to do so. Reapers, they slip into the main base. They get the Lings. They want some drones. Ooh, the Reapers will escape. They do slip away just barely out of the main base. Again, the Overlord did confirm, so Dark, he's fully aware of the 3rd CC before factory. He's fully aware of how greedy Byun is being. And do we try to punish this greed? That's the question. Like, honestly, Byun would be very vulnerable to a Bane bust. Something like that, for example. I know Shin would be so willing to bring that out. I wonder what Dark is thinking, though. For now, just droning. He's just droning, saturating his bases. Oh, the Reapers, they do slip by. They get another drone, and they do manage to escape. This is becoming a bit too much. Oh. 2, 3, 4 drones go down, and we escape once again. The Reapers, they slip away. 1 Reaper gets caught, but the others are getting far too much damage done. This is game ending. 7 drones go down. This is too much. This is becoming far too much. As Dark is stuck just resaturating his bases. He's stuck droning. He should have already been saturated on 3 bases, but he's not. Aye. 9 workers in total. To 3 Reapers, by the way. And Byun, he knows he's ahead. He knows that he has quite a bit of momentum, and he's pushing out with Marines. This is really bold. Like, these are, like, soon-to-be stimmed Marines, but they have no support. Byun, he catches an Overlord. He gets one. He wants another. Oh, he's gonna get it. Oh my god! Supply blocking Dark. He stims. He gets a queen. This is disastrous. He gets one queen, gets a second queen, gets a third queen as well. I'm a little bit speechless. Oh my god, we are down to 3 queens remaining here by Dark. He's being pulled apart here by the Reapers, by the Marines, getting a third Overlord. Supply blocking Dark even further. Ay ay ay. Despite the failed proxy third ranks, it doesn't even matter because Byun is more than made up for it. And remember, behind this, it was a third CC before factory, so his economy is booming. He's going to be able to get into his third base very quickly. Triple meal production. It gets another 3 drones. Finally, the Reapers go down, but this was more than worth it. Behind this, we skip link speed. We're getting into Roach production. Gases are being taken. Roach production underway, but Byun, he's snowballing out of control. Here we go. We are pushing. Dark trying to rush into Roach production desperately. We are going in. But again, the lack of link speed really did hurt Dark here. Dark being greedy, skipping it, trying to rely on queens and slow links to defend. Double jump into the main base. Stim is done, by the way. We dive on top of the army, dive into the mineral line. Another queen goes down. 1, 2 queens fall. And good target firing here on the drones. A very efficient trade here by Byun, and he's not done. We drop down to the low ground as well. I mean, Dark was already hurting, and now even more so. At this point, I think he's forced all in. I don't see a longer game really working here for Dark. He has lost far too much throughout the course of this game. He's lost 19 drones and 5 queens. There is going to be a strong timing with 1-1, and I think this is it. I think this is what Dark has to hit. An all-in with 1-1. It's going to be a very weakened all-in because we've taken so much economic damage, so it's going to be a little bit shaky. Yeah, we recognize that. Infestation bit. Like, the all-in, it's not going to work. Infestation bit's on the way, we're droning up, we're doing the best we can given the situation. I think our hope here with this infestation bit is infestors. We need, like, the best fungals in the world, and then maybe we can hold on. Maybe we can survive. But here comes another army. Stirring up a lot of creep. Creep is going to be going down. There's quite a lot of it, actually. Double drop still threatening the main base. And Byun, he's building himself up here, back at home. And again, a lot of this game, it feels like it did come down to Dark just being a little bit too greedy. Like the fact that he skipped link speed, the fact that he was rushing into roaches, is something that he just could not do here against Byun. Not here in game 3. A Hydrogen on the way. Fast Hive. We have 5 infestors in production as well. So all these infestors make sense just for fungals. And the Fast Hive, the Fast Hydrogen. This looks like fast lurkers. It has to be fast lurkers here out of Dark. And to be fair, okay, if Dark is able to get into a decent lurker count before the first push, which is coming, then maybe Dark can hold. But this push is going to be devastating if we commit. How many tanks do we have? 6 tanks. Barely any Ravagers. There we go. Lurker Den is on the way. If Byun takes too long, if we are able to get out a decent lurker count, then Dark can hold. 100%. Can hold on. The lurkers. That's his Hail Mary play here. Rushing into them, but here comes the army is the problem. Here comes the main army. Dark, can we hold? Can we survive? Show us the fungals! Decent fungals here on the army, but the tanks are pushing forward. Yeah, they're getting within range of the hatchery. Decent piles bring one of those tanks down. At the same time, double drop into the main base. A drop here towards the third as well. Byun are going for a tri-pronged attack at this point, and he's getting damage done. 6 drones fall. Gonna try and deny the 5th. And the 4th is under fire. Yeah, the Marines going ham. Now this hatchery is gonna fall. And we're still trading here in the natural. Oh, no shot! We bring down the roaches. Drone's gonna be falling. Big triple drop into the main base as well, and Dark is being pulled apart. The dream of getting into lurkers is just the dream. As we get 10 workers in the main, we dive on the infestor, and Byun is snowballing out of control. GG gets called. Byun will be taking the series 2-1. Will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of Byun. He had a rocky start. Props to Dark for scouting and shutting down that third Rax. It was a good start out of Dark initially, but things very quickly snowballed out of control. Dark was being a little bit too greedy. I think Dark was overconfident. I think it was just a little bit overconfident after he denied that proxy Rax. I think he was just feeling a little bit too high and mighty after denying that proxy. Byun showing that, mate, you can force your third Rax to be cancelled and still bounce back hard and get so much damage done with his Reapers, with his drop play. And again, he had an insane economy behind it because of that very fast third CC. So good adaptation out of Byun, and yeah, did snowball out of control. Dark was just having a really hard time keeping up with the movement of his opponent. That's the downside of roaches, is that roaches are really good to defend against main pushes. Like, if his opponent had gone for a 4-axe, then Dark would have been fine. Dark, he would have been perfectly fine with his roach production. But instead, Byun was focusing on drop play and on harassment, and roaches have a really hard time rotating between the bases and keeping up with the movement of the Terran. And just like that, we have our grand finals. Let's go.